So class 7, this lecture number 13. Today we are going to discuss about the remaining types of kinds applications of total internal reflection. So first application we have already studied, but now second one is binocular. The critical angle for glass is around 42 degrees. Then light enter a right angle prism. It makes an angle greater than the critical angle. It causes total internal reflection to take place. A binocular uses reflecting prisms to see distant object. You can see in the diagram there are two right angle prisms. Here, whenever a light rays enters, it firstly strike on the first base of the right angle prism, then reflect again, then about 3 to 2 times reflection, it tends out of the prisms and show you the object which are far from you. So the basic work is that the critical angle for glass, we know that is 42 degree. Whenever light enters a right angle prism, it makes an angle greater than the critical angle. So that causes the total internal reflection, due to which we can see the things which are far from us from the binocular. Now the next one is periscope. So we can see objects which are higher than our eyes with the help of periscope. A simple periscope consists of a tube at the end of which are fitted two right angle prisms. Now the first prism turns the light coming from the object towards the second. Then the second prism turns it towards our eyes. The prisms use the principle of total internal reflection. Periscopes are used in submarines, tanks, etc. Okay. Now you can see there's a prism having two uh, right angle prisms. First, from the first prism, the light enters and then it conveyed to the second prisms. Here the second prism turns it to our eyes. Basically, the phenomena which are used in this periscope is the total internal reflection, due to which we can see the things that are upside from our eyes. Basically, these periscopes are used in the submarines, tanks, etc., where the submarines are under the water, but they can see what happens on the surface of water. So they use the periscope. Now the next one is mirages. Have you ever seen water on the road ahead while traveling on a hot sunny afternoon? Yes, but when you get there, the road is perfectly dry. The water was never there. What you saw was a mirage. So what is basically a mirage, which you have seen on the surface of road, that there is a water, but whenever you come near to this, you see there is a dry road. There is no water. So basically, this is due to a mirage. Now the question rises: what is mirage? A mirage is an image of some distant object which appears to us due to the refraction and total internal reflection of light. Okay, what is mirage? A mirage is an image of some distant object which appears to us due to the reflection and total internal reflection of light. Now the air higher up is cooler than the air near the road. So light travels faster when it reaches the warmer air. The light rays bend as they travel downward due to reflection near the ground, where air is even more warm. The light rays travel almost parallel to the ground but continue to bend in another directions. Okay, that is the phenomena of mirage. Here you can see that whenever you see the road from far place, you see there is a water. It looks like there is a water, but basically when you come near to this, you see there is no water. The road is totally dry. So the water that is seen after some far distance, basically a mirage. A mirage is an image of some distance object which appears to us due to the reflection and total internal reflection of the light. Now the question arises how the mirage happens. What is the phenomena of mirage? So the air, we know that the air higher up is cooler than the air near the road because the surface of road temperature is so high. So the air around the road is basically high in temperature. Now the light travels faster due to when it reaches the warmer air. So the light rays bend as they travel downward due to reflection. Now when they comes near the ground where air is even more warm, the light rays travel almost parallel to the ground but continue to bend in other directions, which is known as total internal reflection. When we see these bending rays, our brain assumes that the rays have traveled in a straight line. These rays seem to us as reflecting from water. As a result, we see a mirage. Basically, desert travelers often observe mirage. So you can see in the diagram. So the thing that you have remembered that for mirage, we have both phenomena reflection and total internal reflection of light. So these are some applications of total internal reflection. Now we are going to discuss about the fish eye view. We have studied that when light travels from one medium into another, its speed changes, which causes the light to refract at the boundary. As light travels from the water to air, it will bend away from the perpendicular to a surface. When the angle of incidence is greater than 49 degrees, all the light is reflected back into the water, which causes the total internal reflection. Now, when fish looks up, it will see reflected view of the sides and bottoms of the pond, while directly above it sees a compressed view of outside world due to reflection. Okay. So here we have discussed that how can a fish see on the what is on the surface and around the surface of water. So basically, whenever light enters greater than the angle of 49 degrees, all the light is reflected back into the water. So you can see there some others shows that they are reflected from the surface of water because they are crossing from one medium to another, but with the angle greater than 49 degrees. So that's why they reflected back. Now, when fish looks up, it will see reflected view of sides and bottoms of the point, while directly above it sees a compressed view of outside world due to reflection. So here we have discussed that there are both phenomena, reflection and reflection, due to which a fish can view all the things that are inside the water and around the water. The critical angle of blast is there's a information which shows that the critical angle of glass is for total internal reflection take place makes the light transmission over long distances possible in optical fibers. So optical fibers are thin transparent glass fibers in which light travels due to total internal reflections. These fibers are commonly used in communication like in telephone transmissions, TV programs and computers. An optical fiber can carry thousands of phone calls at the same time. So basically what are the optical fibers? They are thin transparent glass fibers in which light travels due to total internal reflection. Now, where the fibers are used. Fibers basically are used in telephone transmissions, TV programs and computers, and also the cables through which we can use internet. So we can say that internet cables and also the other TV cables. Basically, these all are used fibers because if we go back past that, we have seen that fibers are not introduced, and maybe you have listened that whenever a caller called someone, he or she also hears some voices of other people. This is because whenever calls or signals are transmitted through wires, they interact with each other, due to which their voices are mixed up. So voice of one people which are not in call can be heard on the other's phone. So that's why we have use the fibers which allow the signals, do not allow the signals to interrupt. So that's why they are mostly used. Now the next topic is dispersion of light. So sunlight is often called white light. Although it is a combination of different colors, we can see these colors in a rainbow. These colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo and violet. So we can also split white light into its colors by passing it through prisms. The band of 7 colors obtained is called spectrum of white light. Now the splitting of white light into its component colors is called dispersion of light. So there are some definitions like the spectrum of white light. The band of 7 colors obtained is called spectrum of white light, whereas the splitting of white light into its component colors is called dispersion of light. So here we also have discussed that what are basically the colors, or we can say the combinations of white light colors. So these colors are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. These are the some colors which combine and make a white light, or you can say that whenever white light it's splitting split these seven colors we can see. Next one is obtaining a spectrum of colors. So how can we obtain a spectrum of colors? First of all, you have a prism and a white cardboard. So here, shine a narrow beam of sunlight on one rectangular surface of a prism in such a way that a spectrum of colors forms on a white cardboard screen on the other side of the prism. So what we have seen there, which color you have seen at the top and at the bottom. So you have know about the pattern of these lights is like red, yellow, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So this is the answer of this identified. Now the next topic is, which is our today's last topic. Why does white light get dispersed? You have studied that in the last topic that whenever white light is passes through a prism, it disperses in seven colors. So the question arises, why does white light get dispersed? When a beam of light enters a prism, all the colors of white light reflect at different angles. It causes the white light to split into its component colors. Okay, whenever a beam of light enters a prism, you can see in the diagram that white light enters into the prism. Now all the colors of white light reflect at different angles. It causes the white light to split into its component colors. Now the red light bends the least, violet light bends the most, and refracts by the largest angle. In this way, white light disperses into its components color. When this spectrum is again passed to another prism, a beam of white light is obtained. Okay? So if you have only one prism, then the white light will uh, transfer into seven colors. And if you have another spectrum around it of some angles, then you can see all these seven colors are again combined and make only one ray, which is known as white light. That is a phenomena due to which a white light can be dispersed. I repeat again, whenever a beam of light enters a prism, all the colors of white light reflects at different angles. It causes the white light into split into its components color. Red light bends the least violet light, the violet light bends the most and reflects by the largest angle. So in this way, white light disperses into its components colors when this spectrum is again passed through another prism. A beam of light is obtained. That is the last topic of today's lecture. Now class, if you have any kind of questions, you can ask.